those of you that are watching the replay, I'm going to introduce you to Tapping Ted, and not to be confused with the infamous Ted Wilmot. And the reason I'm doing this is because I realise when I'm doing Facebook Live, there is a delay in what comes over. So I'm just saying this to you. This is Tapping Ted, and he's got all the little tapping points on. And we're waiting for people to join us. How exciting. We've already got people joining us. If you want to, just pop in the chat box where you're from around the globe. And I'm going to be tapping on Tapping Ted. So we've got a massive amount of people joining us all at the same time. A couple of things for those of you that are joining us, make sure that you've got all your other tabs closed. So switch off your YouTube, your Sonos, whatever you have on the background, your Google. No, don't switch off Google. Tap, tap, tap. Make sure that everything's closed because that will help the streaming. Now, just in case that anything goes wrong tonight, because Facebook have been glitchy, glitch, please keep on tapping. So do that. I've washed my hands, so I'm going to be tapping on my face. You can actually tap on a toy or your pet. Tapping Ted here, and we're going to put Tapping Ted down. My name is Penny Kroll. My company name is changeahead.biz, and I'm the founder of Meta Consciousness. And tonight I'm really excited to share with you my passion to release fears of symptoms. And so I'm going to start tapping, and I'm sure that you've all been really excellent people that have come on and you've watched the safety video. So if you haven't, I'm just going to say this is the side of the hand, top of head. I've washed my hands. I'm going to tap between my eyebrows, side of eye, under my eye, under nose. I'm going very fast because I've only got 30 minutes. Anybody that knows me, 30 minutes is not enough. On your collarbone, halfway down, you can tap there. I tap on the liver point, and everybody I know knows where the bra strap is under your nipples, so tap there, follow your bra strap around, the monkey tapping point, that's not actually what the official name, the inner wrist, your fingers, and a finger point, and the back of the palm. So tonight we're going to be talking about fear of symptoms. Now, this is quite a heavy subject, and I would like to make sure that everybody's safe because I'm going to be inviting you to tune into your own stuff. That's another technical name that I've come up with, stuff. So making sure that you have your water and your tissues, because some people, when they're tapping, have a release, and that release could be flatulence. So you might be as well if you're on your own, or you can blame it on the dog. It could be burping, it could be hiccups, and it could be tears. So do be aware that there's nothing wrong, there's nothing happening to you. That's a form of an energy release. Another safety is, I like this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if things are too much for you and you feel that you're going inside, I'd invite you to put your hand on your heart and hold that and look for 5 things around the room. And I will be doing this throughout the session. Look for 5 things. What colors can you see? Actually touch 4 things. Can you touch your mobile, your armchair, yourself? So you're getting back into the room. Listen to 3 things. Can you hear my voice? Smell 2 things. I've just had some sage, so I can smell my sage. And can you taste anything? So that's just some forms of safety before we start. So we've got people coming from Italy. We've got people from Gloucestershire. Way! Worcestershire. All these names I can't pronounce. You're doing this on purpose. Egypt's joining us. America. So that's beautiful. Now, you may realize that there is a delay, so if I ask a question, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to come back to me. And I really want you to be focused on yourself and your own things. So earlier this week I asked what your fears were about symptoms. Now, this beautiful tapathon for 21 days is focusing on releasing the fears about the C word, that COVID-19. And so the COVID-19 seemingly affects our respiratory symptoms, our nose, our throat, and our lungs. So I'm going to be focusing on that, but you may have other symptoms. You may have a bad back. You may have shooting pain up your elbow, tennis elbow. You may have an autoimmune condition. And I'm going to be asking you to tune in to what's going on in your body rather than following what my words are about. And I'll be asking some questions. And in the background, we've got the fabulous Janice Thompson, who's going to be answering any questions that you have that comes up. And if anybody, we've got a team of fabulous tappers to support all of us tonight. So let's just start with the fear of the symptoms. That fear of the symptoms. It's really interesting because I've been working with serious disease for a decade now. And one of my favorite authors is Khalil Gibran. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. And he says, out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. I have to close my eyes because I'm really bad at misquoting people, or I'm really great at misquoting people. And actually the most massive characters emerge with seared wounds or scars. And perhaps I've misquoted, so I apologize to Khalil. What does that mean? Well, for me, it means there's a Buddhist saying well, that pain, we don't have an option. Suffering, we have a choice. But do we? Because with suffering, I feel we get stuck in our heads. So I'd like to explore that first with you, if that's okay. So even though I'm so fearful of suffering, all this suffering and pain that's going on around the world, perhaps today I can choose to release that suffering. So even though I'm so fearful of suffering, all the pain, of all the symptoms in my body and around the world, however, perhaps today I can choose to release my own suffering. So even though I'm so fearful, I'm terrified, again, tune into your own words. If these words don't resonate, insert your own words. Perhaps today I can choose to release my own suffering. Top of head, all this suffering. If you've washed your hands, middle of eyebrows, all this suffering and pain in my body, all this pain under your eyes, all this pain under your nose, all this pain, all this pain, all this pain. Can you just check in, guys? Where is that pain in your body? Check in to where that is. Does it have a shape? Does it have a color? Does it have a texture? This purple, brown, shitty feeling in my lungs. Purple, brown, shitty feeling in my lungs. Give it your own color. Give it your own shape, texture. What's going on for you? What shape, color, texture does it have for you? Just tune into that, what's going on in your body. Keep on tapping. All that pain, that suffering regarding this global event, all that pain and fear in my own body, that fear that my autoimmune is not strong enough, that fear that I'm going to be passing it on to other people, that fear. Can you just tune in and see if it's actually your pain, your suffering, your colors, or is it someone else's? Tune into that, because at the moment there's a big collective. And if it's others, let's just tap on that. So even though I acknowledge and realize that I've picked up others' pain, others' suffering, and today perhaps I can choose to release the collective, suffering and pain. It's not mine. Top of head, the collective pain and suffering. The collective pain and suffering. Other people, they've gifted it to me. And again, these are my words, so tune into your words and where you're feeling it in your body. Tune in to find out if it's your suffering, your pain. What's going on in your body? So what is going on in your body? Is it a collective? Is it yours? Is it a gift? You know, you get these lovely Christmas presents and they're a bit unwanted, but people give them to you with love and intention. So even though I've been gifted this suffering and pain, it's not even mine. I choose today to give it back with love and compassion. It's not even my pain and suffering. It's not even my pain and suffering. I choose to release that pain and suffering and give it back with love and compassion. All that pain, it's not even mine. I just tune in. What purpose do you want to hold on to that pain? If you do, you might not want to. Is it time for you to release it? Is it safe for you to release it? What's going on in your body? Bit of a sticky feeling in my stomach. That sticky feeling in my stomach. Tune into what shape, color, texture is for you. If it's too much and you're feeling a little bit nauseous, because the gut, if you think about it, is our third brain. And our gut is about things we cannot digest even. I can't digest my words at the moment. What can't we digest just thinking about that we've picked up other people's pain and suffering? And you can tap or touch and breathe. Breathing in, breathing out. What else is coming up in people's bodies? Just pop that in the comment box. All that pain and suffering, it's not even mine. I choose to give it back with love and compassion. All that love and compassion. You can swear at this point. You can tell it to go away. You can use the F word. You're in your own safety. No one can hear you. It's time to release it. Do you want to do a little shake? A little tap down the points? Shake it off. It's not yours. You can tap all over the body gently. There's no need to. You can see I'm hardly even touching my head. Hardly touching my face. What's happening in your eyes? Giving yourself permission to let go of the collective suffering. For letting go of other people's pain. It means I'm not helping. And how does it help if you feel the pain? Doesn't. Because then both of you will be sitting there, I'm in pain, pain, all this pain. But if we can rise above that and be 2 or 3 steps above the people that we're helping, then the Buddhists also have a saying about sitting with a strong back and an open heart. Feel shame in case of passing anything on. All that shame. Where are you feeling that shame? And shame is an interesting one, isn't it? It's about you not being able to do something. You're not good enough to do it. I've done something wrong. All that shame. Other people's fear of suffering, not mine. It's time for me to release it. I'm not helping on the vibration collective to keep that suffering and hold on to it. What purpose is it serving? What positive purpose is it serving? Just a moment and pause and breathe into each point and ask yourself, what positive purpose does it serve to hold on to that suffering and pain? What's going on in your body? And more understanding of other people's actions having their pain or suffering. And a lot of people are behaving at the moment because they're feeling that pain and their suffering. They're coming from the reptilian brain relay. That reptilian way of being aggressive, of fighting. I did it the back to front, of fighting, of fleeing, of freeing, and of fawning. Please, please, I'll help you. I'll feed you. I'll do this. What positive purpose? It's a biological way. Isn't our bodies great? They're responding. So can we just have a little tapping round about the gratitude? So even though my body is responding because I'm a survivor, my body is responding. I thank my body. It's helping me survive. I thank it. Perhaps now it's time to come out of that fight, flight, freeze. Is it safe for you to do that? Maybe not. That's okay for the time being. That fear of what's coming, think about that. Hi, what's going on in your bodies? Just feeling that you're releasing, and you've given yourself permission to release other people's fear and suffering. Let's just see in the chat box and put our hands on our hearts, making sure that we're safe, that we're in our living rooms as I am. Oh. Feel all of that in your heart, and you can touch, it's called the triple warmer. Breathe into your heart, exhale. What's comfortable? I realise I've been feeling guilty when I see locals scuttling in about fear, that I'm cheery. Yeah, all that guilt. All that. So even though I have all this guilt, this shame, I'm healthy. They're not. They're scuttling around. I'm relaxed. Today I give myself permission to release that because it's safe for me to do so. It's safe for me to do this. It's not safe. It is safe. Where are you feeling that in your bodies? Tune in. Does it have a shape, a colour? It is safe. It's not safe. It is safe. This brown squidgy thing in your back tension, easing. Okay. Let's just take a moment. And as I said, because of the global events and what's going on, the C word, it's affecting people's respiratory, seemingly. So what's going on with that? Outside the planet is breathing, but what about us? So if we have a fear of a territory, a life shock, we're just terrified of fearing death, let's tap on that. So even though I feel that I'm being invaded, I'm losing my territory, I'm fearful of all the statistics about COVID-19 deaths, all of those lives, these pointless lives, they're all dying, or perhaps they were going to die anyway. How did that feel when I said that? Was that a trigger to you? Perhaps I can actually accept that I'm a survivor, fearing all these, my territory's been lost. I can't breathe. I feel suffocated. Are you feeling your lungs? Or tune into what part of your body you're feeling this. I can't breathe. I have an autoimmune. It's perhaps safe for me to breathe. The planet's breathing and it's giving us more oxygen. Isn't that amazing? Perhaps the planet is now going into parasympathetic. And when I talk about parasympathetic, when we're cold and numb, that's us in stress. And it's great when we're cold and numb. How many of you are cold and numb at the moment? Feeling fear, all this fear. I'm feeling cold and numb. Are you feeling cold and numb in your body? I'm in stress. I didn't even realize I was in stress. However, today, perhaps I can rest. Perhaps the world is giving me permission to rest. Is it safe for me to rest? And that's restoration, parasympathetic. So when we have a fever, what's happening in your body if you think that you're having a fever? I read on the NHS in the UK that 2 ways to diagnose yourself is if you start coughing for more than an hour or have a fever. Immediately started coughing. Immediately. So even though they're telling me these symptoms, that I have this, perhaps I'm feeling something in my throat and I'm coughing because I can't speak. Perhaps I give myself permission to speak today. Again, tune into your words, your feelings in your body. Does it have a texture, a shape, a colour? All the feelings in my throat, all that anxiety. And people with anxiety, they've had 2 or more traumas in the past. Something that's happened in front of them and something in the future. So, of course, the future, and Rob did a brilliant session last night. Check it out. The uncertainty of the future. But that's going to raise your anxiety. Where are you feeling that in your body? If you're anxious, hold your heart. Breathing into your heart. Be kind to yourself. Yawning is great. Throat constricting as you're speaking about this. Tune into that throat. Tune into what's going on. Give it a shape, a colour. Is it yours? Check that it's yours. If you're me, I can be very spongy sometimes, which is great when I'm working one-to-one with a client, but not so good when I'm just walking down the street wanting to go for a coffee. Open your windows. There's enough oxygen in the planet. British people sometimes fear opening the windows. Are you fearful of opening your windows? Even though I'm feeling fear of opening my windows. We can go outside. They haven't said to us we're not allowed to go outside. We're still allowed to go outside and breathe. There's enough air and oxygen in our living rooms if we open a window, or even if we don't. All that fear about breathing in. Is there enough oxygen? There's 8 billion of us on the planet. What's going on in your body? Are you feeling that in your lungs? What's happening in your lungs? Take that breath in. Yawning like a deer. Yes, if people are coughing, it confirms their fears. So even though I have a slight fever, last week I had a fever every single night. However, I know it's because I was slightly stressed during the day and I'm not eating the best at the moment. So where's that feeling of, oh, I've got a slight temperature? Are you fearful about that? What happens if that virus gets into my lungs? What happens if you let go of the fear and breathe? That fear, where is that fear? That shame, that guilt? Because I'm a survivor, and you all are, because you've all survived today, because I know that you're turning up here. My back feels better. Thank heavens for trees and plants and less planes. I feel I want to spread my wings and soar high above all of this. That free breath of air. What about our territory? Because in our bronchioles and people who have asthma, there will be a territorial conflict in the past. And our lungs are watching out for this. All that fear of losing my territory. And a territory can be boundaries. So who's invading your boundaries? Who's taking your boundaries away? Is it time for us to realign our fear of our territory? And of course, what's happening? A lot of people are living with other people and they're in their territory. How can we actually create our own territory now? And I accept that I'm a survivor. All these feelings, those feelings, those feelings. I'm laughing because for some reason Alexa, which is in 2 rooms down, just decided to speak. Hopefully you didn't hear it. All those feelings, because it's 2 rooms away, so my cat might have triggered it. She's being territorial. She's gone into my bedroom because I'm with you, not with her at this time of night. We're survivors. There's enough air in the whole world for all of us. We can breathe. It's safe for us to breathe. What's coming up for you guys? What's going on in your body? Even though I don't feel any of the negative feelings of fear, I'm releasing so much because it's quite an interesting time. What about people's I do apologise. What about people's adrenals? People are not, perhaps realising that they're not actually doing their life's purpose. So when we realise that, our adrenals go and we feel exhausted. So even though I realise because of this global event, I'm actually not doing my life's purpose, perhaps I can accept that it's time for me to look at different strategies to adapt. And this is where human beings are beautiful creatures, because we've been adapting and creating new strategies for thousands of years. And I accept I'm a survivor. My adrenals. I'm feeling exhausted. I'm carrying everybody else's pain and suffering. I'm not serving my purpose in life. Perhaps now I choose to create my own purpose. Where are you feeling that in your body? Just tune into that. I've been working in a medical firm. Well done, darling. I can breathe deeply now. Boundaries immediately. Aching right shoulder. What's going on there? What are you trying to hold on to? Think about what your shoulder's doing. Mother Earth is regaining her and bringing everything back into balance. And this is what our bodies are doing when they go from stress to restoration. That cold stress, we have to fight, we have to flee, we have to fawn, to, we feel exhausted. However, we're so conditioned to keep on tapping that we have to keep on pushing through. Push through, Peggy. You'll get all of this done today. All this pushing through. All this pushing through. I'm coping. I'm coping. Does that resonate with you? What words would you use? What would you hear? If you're in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, you're rushing out there, you're stockpiling. Where are you feeling it in your body? All this fear. Then you're getting backache because you're having to support everybody. All this backache. What's happening? What colour, shape, texture is happening in your body? Because our unconscious can't speak with words, but it can speak with metaphors. So tune in to what you're feeling in your body. I have to keep on checking the time because I'm renowned for going over, and I've been told that I've got 30 minutes. I'm unproductive without my structure, tiredness and inefficient. So even though I need structure, so perhaps I can create structure because I have a choice now. Or perhaps my body needs to rest because I'm a survivor, and I thank about all of that. Feeling tired, feeling exhausted. Perhaps my body is telling me to rest. Perhaps I need to come off the sugar, off the quick fix drinks, and start drinking water, rehydrating our body. I'm just going to take a little sip of water. So what's happening on a scale of 0 to 10? Where are you now feeling about fear of symptoms? Just let's pop that in while I have a sip of water. Wendy's saying survival is about the most adaptable. Darwin, he also said it's about the strength of kindness. Again, probably a misquote, but he never said it's the strength of the strongest survive. So what else is going on from you? What's going on? I'm just checking here. Being stuck in fight or flight takes me off. Slow down, be kind to yourself. What else is going on? And just keep on tapping. From 7 to 3, beautiful. I'm going to read that quote from Khalil Gibran, and I've got it here. So read it properly this time. Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. Most massive characters are seared with scars. So is everybody feeling safe? If you wish to know more about how the body is talking to you, because it's not even talking to you when you have an autoimmune disease, it's screaming at you. It's going, wake up, change, adapt. It's not trying to kill you. Our bodies are really intelligent. Are you being kind to your body at the moment? Are you inviting it to rest? What's your sleep patterns like? I'd really love to hear more about this on the TAPATHON Facebook page. Remember, we've got 21 days and they're only bite-sized chunks for you to start really speaking to your body. Because if you're like me and you spent all your life stuck in bed, now is the time to connect and really truly be gentle and kind to your body, bringing in that love and compassion for yourself. It's not selfish, it's selffulness. We're on the 0 to 10. I'm down to a 4 to 10. Beautiful. Keep tapping even after this. And you can replay this video and tune in. Remember, it's about your own symptom, about your own feelings. Weren't mine. Feeling calm and relaxed, giving myself permission, feeling calm and open. Wasn't even tapping for shoulder pain, but it's finished. So really tune into that. Any more comments, you can find me all over Facebook. I have a little picture and nobody's going to take that away yet. And I would like to say thank you to being around. Thank you to Kate Marolette. Thank you to Carl Dawson and all the fantastic presenters over the next 21 days. And do remember that we are raising money from a beautiful charity, Doctors Without Borders. And this is such amazing. There's a link on the TAPATHON page. And I'd like to say thank you. Love you all, deepest from my heart. Love yourselves. And the more that you love yourselves, the more I can love you. Night, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.